And welcome to Hannity. This is a Fox News alert. Tonight, amid stiff resistance, the Russian army is attempting to encircle Ukraine's capital city of Kyiv inch by inch. And tonight, it does appear they are making progress, albeit slow progress. Now, President Zelensky says that Russia can only take the city if it razes Kyiv to the ground. But that is exactly probably what Putin is planning. This is now an extraordinarily dangerous time for Ukraine and the entire world. And to make things dramatically worse, the world does not have a strong and a decisive U.S. president or U.S. vice president. Just take a look at your screen. This is drone footage from southern Ukraine, where multiple cities are being utterly destroyed by indiscriminate Russian artillery and bombing attacks in what is being described as a medieval siege. There is no power, there is no food, there are no medical supplies, and just miles and miles of smoldering apartment complexes, thousands of innocent men, women, and children now dead, including this pregnant woman and her unborn baby. Now, Putin's plan to quickly capture Ukraine and install a puppet regime didn't work well, and now a very angry Vladimir with his back against the wall and the world watching is hell-bent on blowing up everything and everyone in his path. And that includes, innocent women and children.
Ай-яй-яй. Ты, сука.
Є інформація про під завалами. Ми вже одного 200-го відкопали і одного...
Пришли к брату. Все вместе. Что мне так страшно было. Спустились в подвал с этими женщинами, с детьми спустились в подвал. И прилетел снаряд во двор. Нас засыпало в погребе. Двоих детей они спасли.
Now, to their credit, the Ukrainian people, they are fighting hard for their country, but they are severely outmatched, outmanned, and outgunned. And as bad as it is now, all indications tonight are things will deteriorate quickly, very quickly on the ground. Ukraine, they need weapons, ammunition, anti-aircraft systems. The 24 MiG-29 fighter jets that Poland offered them, that proposal Joe Biden personally vetoed and blocked. Joe is worried that the deal would upset and anger Putin and Russia. It shows nothing but weakness. It reveals how easily Joe is intimidated by Vladimir Putin. Maybe he should be reminding him of the weaponry we have. As we all know, weakness invites aggression. Just look at what happened over the weekend. Iran nearly destroyed our U.S. consulate building in Iraq with a ballistic missile attack. America needs to be asking tonight of their president, Joe, what are you going to do? Now, pathetically, it looks like he may be handing over billions in frozen Iranian assets while negotiating to import oil from the #1 state sponsor of terror and make Iran and the mullahs of Iran rich again. And the worst part is, as of now, it is Russia and China. They are the ones brokering this deal with the mullahs. And because Joe Biden is so desperate for a nuclear deal with Iran, even worse than the first one with Obama and Biden and the mullahs in Iran, they're pretending this attack, it's nothing to worry about. Really? The administration claiming the U.S. wasn't even the real target? That I call out as total Adam Schiff. I believe that's a lie. Joe Biden is the modern-day Neville Chamberlain. Iran was targeting Israel, they claim, so no reason to be upset. Our #1 ally in the Middle East, no big deal, just Iran being Iran, really? The administration claims the U.S. wasn't even the real target again. So now it's, no reason to be upset. Meanwhile, as bad as all of this is, and it's bad, China is now openly threatening, quote, the worst consequences for any country that supports Taiwan's military. Here's a problem. We currently have a U.S. military presence right there in Taiwan, and we also equip Taiwan with weapons and training. So again, we asked Joe Biden, what are you going to do about this overt threat, Joe? Are you going to do anything, anywhere at all? Now, China is reportedly ready and willing to ship weapons and other aid to Russia to help resupply Putin's bloody invasion of Ukraine. So it's kind of official now, Joe. We've been telling you it's happening and occurring for some time. China, Russia, Iran, they're all threatening the U.S. and the world at the same time. And Joe Biden is doing absolutely nothing to counter all of this aggression on the world stage. And his pathetic, feckless weakness, it is causing all of this. There is no president in our lifetime weaker than Joe Biden. Now, with the world crumbling around him after major failures at home and abroad, Joe, of course, he's not taking any responsibility. He's not owning up to any of his screw-ups, and he's not changing course, which is worse. Instead, Joe, I believe everything I screw up is Vladimir Putin's fault. He is lying to you, the American people. Take a look. You decide.
The second big reason for inflation is Vladimir Putin and gas prices. Not a joke. Make no mistake, the current spike in gas prices is largely the fault of Vladimir Putin. It has nothing to do with the American Rescue Plan.
What was simply embarrassing and humiliating is now beyond dangerous. Joe Biden's poll numbers are in the tank. The American people see that he's lying. No one respects him. No one believes him. And maybe it's time that Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Jen Psaki stop lying to you, the American people. Putin is not to blame for the record high gas prices. Joe's economic and energy policies are. Putin didn't block the Keystone XL pipeline. He didn't ban exploration and auctions on federal lands. Now, the Keystone XL pipeline, for example, would have been finished now, according to the premier of Alberta in Canada, and we'd have 900,000 barrels of Canadian oil flowing through that pipeline into the U.S. every single day. That oil we could use now. Now, that was Joe Biden and the new Green Deal Socialist Democrats. They stopped this. Putin didn't spend trillions and cause America's 40-year record high of inflation. And Joe, stop lying. Putin didn't cause that, because long before Putin invaded Ukraine, we had month after month after month, 40-year high after 40-year high inflation. That was you, Joe Biden. And just like Putin didn't abandon our fellow Americans in Afghanistan, in case you're counting like we are, it is day 212. Joe Biden did that, not Vladimir Putin. Putin did not pull out of the country the most dangerous and chaotic way possible and wait till the very end to do it, leading to the deaths of 13 U.S. servicemen and women, abandoning our fellow Americans, green card holders, our allies, own $80-some-odd billion worth of military equipment. That was all Joe Biden. Just like Joe Biden ran out of COVID tests and monoclonal antibodies over Christmas, unforgivable, inexcusable. Just like Joe gave up energy independence and gave up America being a net exporter of energy. Just like Joe Biden's disaster at the southern border. You're going to blame Putin for that too, Joe? Stop blaming Putin, Joey. You have created one preventable disaster after another. Let's be clear. Putin is an evil, murdering thug. This is a regime that is looking for as much territory as they can get. But all of America's problems did not originate 5,000 miles away in Moscow. They're your policies. Don't expect Joe Biden to ever right the ship or take responsibility. That would mean he'd have to admit that Donald Trump was right on the border, right on energy, right on Afghanistan, right on the economy. But that's never going to happen. Biden has never been particularly competent, but now he is also weak, frail, and a cognitive mess. I'm not even sure he knows today's Monday or what day of the week is on any given day. And on Friday, before jetting off for his weekend of ice cream at Camp David for some rest and relaxation, Biden delivered this truly, even for him, bizarre speech. Take a look.
The moment it opens, it will be disbanded. You hear me? It will blow up. For a mom to get her kid on the internet to be able to do their homework has to pull into the McDonald's parking lot? I mean, for real. That's what's happening. This law is going to put an end to all of that. It's going to put people in a much different position to be able to determine their own judgments about when to sell their cattle, when they should. We're going to change things. I'm on track to be the first president in history to lower the deficit by over $1 trillion in 1 year. So I'm sick of this stuff.
Really? Okay, McDonald's for internet and selling cattle, and this guy doesn't have a clue. Here's a serious question every American needs to ask tonight. Do you feel safe and secure with that man as your president at the helm of your country? Do you really think he has the mental strength and stamina and acuity to make sound decisions? Does he even have the courage to do what is obviously right for you, we, the American people? And while America's president is struggling every day mightily, there are so many people all over the world, they are now risking it all to do what is right. In Russia, for example, look at this employee of a TV channel rushed onto the set during a live propaganda broadcast with a sign that reads, "Stop the war, no to war." She will probably be thrown in prison and faces a 15-year Russian prison sentence. Let this be an important reminder. Never take your freedoms for granted. As Ronald Reagan said, freedom is but one generation away from extinction. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.